Hello there, this is Ty the Movie Guy, and as you can see down here, it has been a month and 4 days since I uploaded my You Pick the Flick video. So that means I get to pick the movies to watch and rank. So I'm gonna go over to the video, and just because not many people commented, I just want to give a thanks to everyone who did comment. So thanks to Philip Adams, Diamond Skulls, Red Phoenix, Russian Batman, Lego Mission X, American Joker, Magic Koopa Productions, Matville Toys 4K, The Hobgoblin, Frailwell, Paul Nicholson, Alan Vinny, I is a Nub, and Dice Wizard. So thank you to everyone who commented. Yeah, just thank you a lot for that. It means a lot to me. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to make it to 100 subscribers. So there's going to be no money, but just bragging rights, I think, is a good reward. So I have this cool comment picker website here, and I'm going to paste my video and then filter the comments and then pick our first contestant. And it is da 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 da. I is a nub says, since you've seen Killer Beard already, how about Willy's Wonderland? If you haven't, oh okay, yeah. He commented Killer Bean, and I said I already watched it, so he changed it to Willy's Wonderland. So that is the first movie I will watch. Thank you for the comment. And our second contestant is Philip Adams, who says, "Watch The Martian. The movie is super accurate to the book, and it is one of my faves." Okay, our second contestant is Philip Adams, and he says to watch The Martian. So I will watch The Martian. Our third contestant is Paul Nicholson, who says, "Oh, sorry, Paul. I've already watched Cars 2." Or I think third, yeah. Third is Dice Wizard with Spaceballs. So I think I've heard it's pretty funny, and it's like a Star Wars spoof, I think. So that is our third contestant. Our fourth contestant is Matville Toys 4K, who says, "Watch any Star Wars content that you haven't watched yet. It's all so good." Well, I've seen all the regular movies, so the only things I haven't seen would be uh, the Ewok movies and the Clone Wars movies. And so I will probably go with the Clone Wars movies, since it's more technically, I would say, more Star Warsy than Ewoks, because it's got Anakin and Ahsoka and all that, compared to Ewoks, which are like teddy bears. So I'll go with the Clone Wars movie. And then our final contestant is Diamond Skulls, who says, "Watch Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman. It is one of my favorite films." Okay, thank you, Diamond Skull, for commenting that. And so there are my 5 movies to watch. So I will watch those and come back in. I'm hoping to watch these in a week, but I'm not 100%. So yeah, see you later and farewell.
One eternity later.
Hello there, this is Ty the Movie Guy, and I am back from watching all of these movies, and it has been way too long, but I'm just a very procrastinating person, so that's why it took so long. But I finally watched them, and let's talk about our first movie, Willy's Wonderland. And not gonna lie, I took a while to start this whole series because I was worried how bad this movie was going to be. But right when I started watching it, I learned that this was a movie not to be taken seriously and just to enjoy the action and stupid comedy. Nicolas Cage is the only actor I recognize, and even though he says nothing, I still like the character and how he had to literally stop fighting just to have pop and play some pinball. All the teen characters were annoying like they usually are, but this movie does that on purpose so their death is more enjoyable. This movie is easily the dumbest, but surprisingly, I enjoyed watching it the most. But that doesn't mean it's my favorite, but still a really enjoyable movie, and I'm glad I watched it. The second movie I watched was The Martian, and this movie was completely under my radar, mainly because I was only obsessed with Marvel as a kid, but also because there's a bunch of similar space movies that gave off the same vibe as this one. In theory, one character alone on Mars sounds kind of boring, but because Matt Damon made his character funny and likable while he's trying to survive, it made the whole movie more enjoyable. The parts on Earth felt a bit boring, but it felt needed to explain things, and when they got in contact with Matt Damon's character, it became more interesting. Overall, really good movie that I'm also glad glad I watched. The third movie I watched was the Clone Wars movie. This movie felt exactly like a couple crappy Clone Wars episodes smushed together to make a crappy movie. It would be way better if they took an arc like the Siege of Mandalore and turned that into a movie, but these episodes were so bad and don't deserve to be a movie. I understand why Ahsoka was annoying in this to make her arc way better, but Anakin was also annoying because he didn't want a Padawan. My brother thought Anakin didn't want a Padawan because that's just who he is, but to me, I feel like he should want one because it shows that the Jedi are starting to think he's responsible. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka meeting for the first time should have been a really special moment, but it wasn't because Anakin was a dick. I'm not sure if I was really tired when watching this or it was just that boring, but this was the only movie that I dozed off a bit to. I feel bad for trashing this movie, but I was told to watch any Star Wars movie that I haven't seen, so this was one of the only ones left. So I'm glad I watched it because it's a Star Wars movie, but I didn't think it would be that bad when people told me it was bad, but yeah, it's pretty bad and boring. The fourth movie I watched was Spaceballs. The concept of making a spoof about Star Wars is a great idea to me, mainly because I love Star Wars. This is another movie where if you look into the plot, it's pretty dumb, but the comedy is all that really matters. My only major problem is that with the age of this movie, some of the jokes are less funny than they were when the movie first came out because comedy changes over time. Overall, a simple comedy that I could see myself watching again. And last but not least is Van Helsing. This is the movie that I most mixed on because the concept of monster hunting and stuff like that is a really great concept, but certain choices made it come across as weird. That's the best way to describe it. I'm having a tough time talking about this movie just because I'm so mixed about it. The main thing that really made it less enjoyable was all the CGI. It felt like they just learned how to use it and now they feel obligated to use it as much as possible. That's all I really have to say. It was just a really meh movie overall. Now it's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time to rank these movies. Fifth place goes to the Clone Wars movie, just because it was a really boring arc to make a movie from, and I don't like the choices they made with some of the characters. Fourth place goes to Van Helsing because it was a very meh movie, and it was a bit more enjoyable than the Clone Wars, but not as good as the rest that's where it ended up. Third place goes to Spaceballs because it's a very light-hearted comedy that isn't meant to be taken seriously, but unfortunately, the jokes are supposed to be the main part of the movie, but some of the jokes didn't age too well over time and made the movie less enjoyable. Second place goes to Willy's Wonderland because it's very much like Spaceballs with a stupid plot, but since this movie is way more recent, the people making it know what the general public is more into now, so they managed to make it funnier for today's audience. And the winner of the first ever YPTF You Pick the Flick goes to The Martian because it managed to take a really cool plot and sprinkle in some really interesting and funny characters to make a really great movie. Congratulations to Philip Adams for picking the best movie, and thanks to everyone else for participating by commenting a movie. Unfortunately, we did not reach 100 subscribers, but I dub Philip Adams with the best reward there is: bragging rights. I would love to do this again, so comment more movies down below. If there's enough, I will do another one. Sorry that this video took so long. I wanted to finish school and buy a microphone and write a script for a special video like this, So thanks again to everyone who participated, and farewell.